What's going on, guys? Welcome to a brand new podcast that we just came up with right now. Um, we don't
Yep.
know what the name is of it yet, but it's gonna be good. Um, Take it
Or bad.
away.
Yeah.
Could be bad.
Our current working title is the Bugle Brothers.
No, Bugle Brothers,
Oh, just Bugle Brothers, not the Bugle Brothers.
or it could be the Bugle Brothers.
The Bugle Brothers.
DA, duh.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Anyways, I guess
Oh, okay.
I guess we're gonna be talking about some DCI because we're a few weeks into the season now, and we're starting to see everyone's shows sort of take shape and start to develop.
And not suck anymore.
Yeah, we're just we're just starting to break 80 for the top groups, so uh, almost at mid-season, almost.
Almost.
But
True.
yeah, I think we're gonna have some interesting conversations, some controversial opinions for sure. Because
Are they
we're
controversial, or are they just the truth and no one wants to admit it?
possibly we're kind of boomers, I
We're-
think.
We're kind of biased. We're like very biased.
Okay,
Yeah,
yeah,
we're incredibly
we're
biased.
we're biased, and then we're also boomers. So
Just as in 19.
Most of the time we
Yeah.
are, but,
Yeah.
but you know,
anyways, I mean,
Right.
I guess we could talk about ourselves first. Like, okay, so I'm Clark. I'm the only one here with jump car experience. So yeah, marched to Spirit of Atlanta in 2021. I'm not marching this summer because I didn't feel like it, but I assure you I will be out there these next 2 years until I age out.
Yeah, but like I'm the only one who actually has like college music experience because like I'm studying it. So
it's not true. I also have college music experience, but okay.
Yeah, but you don't
that's
play
not
in a
what I meant,
studio.
Jared. I meant like
He's studying trumpet.
yeah, you freaking idiot. You don't understand, Jared. By the way, we all play trumpet.
Yeah, we all play trumpet. We're all I think we all are bringing something different to the table. Uh,
In a way.
yeah, in a way. So I think this will be good. I think this is a good little trio to talk about this stuff. I think Nick is our more of objective point of view. And then Jared and I are like kind of biased. I mean, Nick's still biased too, but
Yeah, I'm not perfect, that's for sure.
but uh,
Yeah.
so just get started. We're gonna talk about I think like probably six or so different groups. Uh, and just gonna go in the order of which they are currently ranked by scores, except for one of them at the end. Because I think it's gonna open a whole new can of worms, and we'll save that one for last. But yeah, let's
I
just
think I have an idea as to which group that might be.
actually. I don't think it's the one you think.
Oh,
There's
it's
multiple
not
ones that are gonna open a can of worms.
Okay.
In fact, I think we're gonna open the same can of worms like
Think-
3 times.
We're pretty critical.
Yeah.
Of
Okay.
a couple of specific
Yeah,
groups.
we're gonna be pretty critical, and I know people marching in every single one of these corps we're gonna talk about. So obviously, this is like no hate, but we're gonna be critical.
This has
I
nothing
mean,
to do with the people, the actual members of the organization. When I say members, I mean the people who are on the field.
yeah, and we'll talk about what we think like objectively, like if they're just playing good or not, and then like into our personal taste. We're gonna talk a lot more about our personal taste.
Lots of
Um,
hot takes.
yeah.
but I think everyone that we're talking about today is objectively like pretty good, except
Yeah.
for there's a few problems we have, but it's early season, so things will clean up for groups and
Hopefully change.
yeah. But
Hopefully.
yeah, I guess what are we already 5 minutes in? We haven't even talked about a single group, but that's fine by us. Let's just get started. Uh, so let's jump right into Vanguard, which I think probably of all the groups we're talking about, we've seen the least.
Yeah.
Yeah, at least
Uh,
for me.
yeah, which is why I kind of well, they're ranked last of all these groups that we're talking about, except for the last one. But yeah, I wanted to put them first because I feel like we'd probably have the least to say about it. Uh,
Yeah,
I think they're good. They're top five core.
yeah, they still have, I'd say, some pretty quality talent in the group, like they usually do. At least they usually have in the last, 5-10 years. But
Yeah,
um,
I
Yeah.
think I think you.
They.
Go
go
ahead.
ahead,
Yeah.
Jared.
Yeah. I think they have a pretty solid horn line.
Yeah, at
I
least from what
just
we heard
the
the other
thing
night.
for me is that nothing really stands out.
Yeah,
Like there's no for me there's no
Yeah,
like a wow factor than like shows like Babylon or and like honestly like 2017 as well as like
Dark Horse.
there's shows all were they had something about them and this show's good, like the members are good. It's just talking about the design itself. It's
Conceptually and design wise, it's a little lackluster.
I don't mind the like finding Nirvana theme. I think that's kind of cool. I don't know how
Yeah,
well they presented it. It's not
yeah,
bad. They presented it decently.
it's more a sense of an execution.
Yeah,
Uh,
and I think you can really tell that JD Shaw's not there anymore arranging that brass band.
yeah,
It still sounds like how their books have sounded, but it, I
yeah,
don't.
it's still very much Vanguard. I think that's.
It
I
sounds
feel
like
like
Vanguard, but you can tell it's not JD Shaw.
another thing with it sounding like Vanguard. I think that's the big takeaway from my point of view this year is that I feel like they're kind of locked. They've been kind of locked the last,
Yeah,
few years conceptually in terms of ideas. Like Voxiversio, for example, in 2019, it just it just felt like they figured out what worked in 2018 with Babylon, and then they just tried to follow the same formula, but it
yeah.
didn't translate near as well, in my opinion.
I
And
did that I that show did have really I thought it had really solid
I th- yeah,
content
I
and
thought
music.
that show was
yeah,
very musically interesting, and I think it's like, I think it's, I like this Nirvana show more conceptually, but I like the Voxiversio show more musically.
yeah, I think in particularly, if there's anything musically that I like most about that show, and I think most of us agree on that one point, is I think it was just before kind of their closing sequence. It was a part that sounded very, I would say, nostalgic for that group. It sounded like a lot of their
Yeah,
older
of
style stuff,
Voxiversio.
and yeah, in Voxiversio, it
Okay.
was kind of the part
Yeah,
where it was very much just
just their
heavy
closer was
brass,
like
and it
really.
didn't feel like they were trying to do a lot of the newer stuff that they usually do. It felt like classic Vanguard, where it wasn't so much what their newer stuff is. Where not to like I don't mean this in a bad way. It's just it's very like edgy and kind of trying to be edgy.
Right. I
They
mean,
they pulled it off.
Yeah,
yeah. I
they,
mean,
they
it was.
did. They absolutely did. If anyone was gonna do it, it was them because they
Yeah.
kind of made it a thing.
I think. I think that year they probably deserved the third place. I mean, I
Yeah.
really liked Crown.
Well,
Uh,
I don't know if I think I personally preferred Crown over them.
I think I
Just
prefer it, but I still think
Their
like
drums,
I'm not like yeah. They're first of all their drums are stupid good, and
their
well,
drums
secondly,
are
Crown was
just
good that year too, though.
yeah. Well, I think Crown's drums got kind of robbed that year. I think they should have beaten Bluecoats in drums, but
Yeah,
that's
yeah. Well,
that might be some bias in that.
we'll talk about that
We'll
group
get
later.
there. We'll get there. Um,
yeah. Their drums and guard are both
yeah.
really solid. The horn
Yeah, they're
line,
phenomenal.
the horn line definitely has a lot more competition when compared with Crown,
Yeah.
obviously. So I think the drums really help that show a lot.
Yeah. Anyways, yeah, but this year's show, I think it's good. I know, like we kind of said, like a lot of negative stuff about it, but like it's good. Like it's a top five show. It,
Yeah.
it needs to be
Yeah,
a top 5. It's enjoyable. Like I enjoy every
It
time I
will be
watch it. I enjoy
remembered.
it. Yeah, yeah,
we're simply just nitpicking.
yeah. It's nitpicky.
What we
They're
do
good.
best.
Quite enjoy that show. Next up on just the rankings by scores currently is
Oh, and one more thing before we completely move away from Vanguard. That snare line, man, they sound so good.
yeah, they're
That
stupid
one
good.
specific part that they're doing, it's kind of a little snare feature where
they're
they're
in the circle and the circle rotates and it moves.
yeah, and they're moving kind of like inward towards the 50, and they're playing basically a diminuting and then crescendoing section with the snares.
Yeah, with
It's
these
so
rolls.
tight and
Yeah.
it's so together. Even this early, it sounds so good.
Yeah. One another thing I think that's good to mention is yeah, we're all like hornline guys, but I'd say we know more about drums than the average
Yeah,
Yeah.
hornline people.
the thing about me is that I grew up listening to drum corps solely listening to the drums most of the time, and then I didn't really get into the hornline stuff until like middle school.
Yeah,
But like,
because Jared's been listening to and been to DCI shows since he was like since he could
Well,
remember, right?
Yeah,
since I could
So
probably like walk, but yeah, so I have a decently trained ear when it comes
Yeah.
with drums,
and
but
like we have, I mean, our friends are drums. Just we've been more. I think we've been more exposed to drums and like just picking
yeah.
up on that stuff. I think we
I
have.
will say that out of all three of us, it's definitely taken me the longest, but I feel like I've finally gotten the ear for it.
Yeah, like most online kids like can't like tell if something's clean or dirty unless it's like really bad.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'd say we have like pretty decent ears for hornline kids. So, you know, just putting that out there. But anyways, y'all ready to move on to our next group? It's our favorite.
Who could this possibly be?
Okay, so next we have the Bluecoats.
Yep.
We are gonna have. I think we're gonna have quite a bit to say. Or we might wrap it up quick. Who knows? But this show to me is somewhat conceptually interesting and visually interesting. I think out of every group we're talking about today, it's the worst musically.
Yeah.
Uh, I
It's-
really don't like it musically.
I think
Yeah.
it's. I think just from a writing perspective, I find it kind of dull, especially considering what it's in competition with this year.
Yeah.
And I think that, and not to like necessarily hate on the show, but I feel like it's just, frankly, it's just not that good.
Yeah. I
And
think it's easy. I think it's
I
easy.
I think yeah, definitely the book and the music selections. The music selections for me, I don't really understand what the show, what the designers were thinking, but I do have an idea that they, you know, this is a year right after like COVID. This is like really like the year that they're
this is
like
the first year really
everyone's
back.
picking back up. So I do have hope for the future, and I feel like this year they might be trying to take it a little easy, but
Yeah, it feels like they kind of held back. Like I think the Hornbook's easy
yeah,
comparatively to every other group. Even like I'll just go ahead and say it. We're talking about the cadets last. I think the cadets show, in basically every aspect is harder than this show.
Yeah,
yeah,
Mm-hmm.
visually,
Yeah, but we'll get to
music.
cadets.
Yeah, but yeah.
I
We'll
yeah,
get into that later. It
the,
I just and there's nothing. I'd be fine with it if it was easy, but I also just don't think anything was really gripping about it musically. I think the guitar solo, I actually like that.
That's like for me the most entertaining and enjoyable part.
It is definitely entertaining. It's enjoyable too. I like the trumpet stuff that's going on there too.
Yeah.
But I I don't know. I just feel
Yeah.
like they also have too many ticks musically for how
Yeah,
easy it is.
and God, now I just feel like we're gonna. It's gonna sound like we're gonna hate on the Bluecoats, but we feel like
We
in the
historically
past.
liked them.
Yeah, I mean, they were kind of. Well, I feel like for a lot of people, and specifically our generation, they were the group that
Yeah,
got
that's
everyone into drum corps.
yeah. That 2016 show is what got me hooked.
That's what made me not quit band going into high school. So
Yeah,
thanks,
it's like
Jared, by the way. Um,
Even yeah, 2018,
I really like
very
2018.
very
2018.
very solid and sound show.
Yeah, 2019 I think is where they started to sort of stray away from what I think we like, but I
Yeah,
still really like that show. Like I would not have been mad. I think they had too many ticks to win,
yeah,
but I think I wouldn't have been mad if they won. I mean I like that
I would
show.
have been. I would have been furious.
uh, but yeah, at Bluecoats, I I I want to put it out there that I understand the show. Like I will give them props. They have the most out there show, but I think they present it in an understandable way. Like I'm not confused on the show design. Like
Yeah, I think I can kind of wrap my head around it. I mean,
there's
it's
just
just fine.
it's kind of similar to SUV. There's just not a part of the show that gets me hooked. I know a lot of people who talk about the guitar, but that doesn't
That's
do it
not
for
gonna
me.
make up for everything else.
That doesn't do it for me. First of all, because I'm a horn player.
And
It's not
I
it's a
think
guitar. It's not like a
yeah,
I
if
think
that was
as
a
from an objective perspective, that shouldn't make up for everything else.
right, I mean if that was if that was a trumpet, like a trumpet screamer, I think the crowd would go like
yeah
way more crazy.
yeah.
Like
Yeah,
it's
I
cool
know
and the crowd likes the guitar, but if a trumpet was playing, maybe not exactly that because that would be probably stupidly hard, but you know, just
it'd
a
be too hard.
screamer solo, you know, going over all that, I think would be way cooler. And I get what they're trying to do conceptually, and like I said, I like it.
they do have good screamers though. They probably would have someone that could do that
Yeah,
because
I
there's
think also particularly better than in recent history.
yeah,
I know there's some guy in that field that's screaming A's.
yeah. He's
Yeah,
like good.
Yeah,
It's real good.
it's weird. That's another thing too. They had that guy like in 2019 who could pop out that A, but he wasn't a soloist over someone else.
Whatever. I mean, we're not there, so it's like
Yeah, we
who
really know what's going on
knows?
behind the scenes.
Yeah, but I think yeah, I think it's just like one of those years. They they might medal. I think right now I have them just like in fourth,
I have them in like
third. I think it'll be between
I think I have them fourth or fifth.
yeah. I think it's around there. They might push for that third. I don't know. We won't know until regionals of how that's might shake out.
Yeah,
Uh,
that's when we'll really start to get an idea of how things are gonna
yeah.
end up.
Uh, yeah. I think we could talk about the drums for a second for Bluecoats. I haven't liked the Bluecoats, or at least I haven't liked the writing for Bluecoats drumline since
15.
I kind of I like 17. Uh, but I think really 15, honestly, where it's like in 16 they just changed styles drastically, I don't really like it. I think though they still have had good drum lines, but just like in my personal taste, it's just I don't like that drastic style change. I feel like they don't
Yeah.
I don't feel like they feature them well. I think they're good. Like we see these like Blue Coat drummers that are on Pulse right now or Broken City, and they're playing like they're ramming notes and they're playing really well.
It
And then
has nothing to do with talent.
yeah, and then they go to Blue Coats and like I feel like it's like almost just a waste. Like they aren't featured well at all. They have like
Yeah.
these like really gimmicky drum breaks,
Yep.
and they just play notes.
Yeah,
Like
it's a
I want to
good.
see re-ram and I want me to bob my head and not
Yeah,
play this like weird like it's just weird and I don't like it.
yeah.
Yeah.
Gimmick is really a good word for it.
Yeah. Uh, anyone have anything else to say about
I don't.
Bluecoats?
Specifically for Bluecoats drums, they're out of all of them, that's probably the drum group I follow the least, specifically
Yeah.
in terms of drum lines. So I that's probably the one that I would know the least about. Like I haven't. That's another thing. I haven't really taken the time to watch much of their drum stuff past like 2015.
Yeah. And that 2015 line was good.
Check out
Yeah, they were good.
2012.
What, Jared?
2012. Check out 2012's
Yeah,
line.
2012 was
Yeah.
rocking. They've had like really good lines for
Yeah.
for like 2005 ish, maybe a little later to like 2015.
2008, the boxing show.
Yeah, I really like all of those lines. They're really good. But 2016 they just like changed styles. I don't know what Roger Carter. I think they changed styles in 2016 because it was just appropriate for the show.
Yeah.
I think it worked in Downside Up. Like it worked. I didn't have a problem with it. I didn't have a problem with it in 2017 either. At least they had like a drum feature in 2017.
My main problem with 2016 is how they mic the drums,
Yeah, I think that's
Yeah,
pretty. I think it's
I
lame.
think that's not a good thing either.
especially that snare feature in the beginning.
Yeah, I think
That
that might.
is
I
a
wish they would just have played it.
little over the top.
Mm-hmm.
Like they can, like they wanted to do that,
My
that
personal
sound
opinion is
effect.
that drums should not be mic'd at all.
No, they're loud enough. We can hear them.
Like we watched cadets rehearse today, and they didn't mic the drums. There were times when like the shotgun mics on the sidelines like pick them up, but like they're not miking the drum line.
They're not
It's-
trying to mic the drum line.
Yeah, it's just they got picked up by the mics. Uh, I don't have a problem with like shotgun mics or obviously miking soloists. Uh, but like
I think in some cases it's needed. Like that makes me think like in Crown this year. They're miking Jesse. He needs to be mic'd for that. It's a
I mean, yeah,
lyrical,
it's like impossible.
classical style solo that needs to be mic'd. He
Yeah,
should not be
also-
blasting that out on
Yeah,
the
he has
sideline.
parts where he's like the horn line's playing at like full volume and he's like
Yeah.
playing over them, so like it has to be mic'd.
Yeah,
It's
the
like-
only times where that doesn't work is if it's a screamer, pretty much,
Yeah.
or where you can get away with that more
Yeah.
specifically.
Anyways, I think that's all I have to say about Bluecoats. Want to move on to Boston?
Before, just bring back the blue coats, man.
Yeah.
Bring back the uniforms.
I think it's
Oh
getting
my
a
god,
little
if they make
ridiculous.
uniforms, I'd be so happy.
Bring back-
Have you seen the alumni corps uniforms?
Yeah, they're awesome.
Yeah.
They're
Yeah,
fire.
it's classic style.
And like I
It's
know
so good.
Just for like 1 year,
Yeah.
just bring them back. Just for like
I
1
know,
year.
like I said earlier, I know people merching Bluecoats this year. Like I'm good friends with at least one person. Shout out to Phil.
Homie Phil.
Yeah, I mean he even says that like they wish they were back. Like the members do. Like
Interesting.
Just bring them back. Like, just
It'll make a lot of people happy.
yeah. It's just I don't. Just try it.
Yeah.
Like just try it for like just a year, and if they suck, you can like if you're getting docked on scoring, which I highly doubt
No.
from wearing traditional uniforms, then just change them. I know that's expensive, but you can have like you can use like parade uniform like cadets do. They have the classic West Points for parades, and then they have their show uniforms, which we'll get to later. I love those show uniforms, but we'll get to
I hate
that.
them.
We'll get to that later. Do that, and then you have like parade uniforms, and then like use them at shows early in the season. See how it works. People will like it. The members will like it. I don't see the reason not to.
Yeah.
Anyways, how about some Boston Crusaders now?
Sure, we can get to them.
Yeah, they're next up on scoring.
Drumline.
The drumlines, they're really good.
Yeah, they're good like they've been.
Yeah, but
Mm.
they're better
Yeah, they are better.
than they've been.
Yeah,
They've been really good. Well,
Battery
2019
is definitely my favorite part of the show.
yes, by far. So,
Yeah,
I'll say this. I think this is the best drumline Boston's ever had. I think it's the best horn line they've ever had. I'm not a guard person.
In recent history, from what I noticed, like I will say, from when we watched them in the preview, I was dogging on them real hard. But since then, I'm very impressed with the grounds they've made, and I'm impressed with the horn line. I think they've become very
I think
not
they're good.
comparable isn't the word, but they've really cleaned
Like,
out their quality, and they've gotten
I feel like they're
quite good.
like now. You said comparable before. I feel like they're now comparable to like these other top horn lines.
Yes,
These
they
top
are.
5 groups.
They're, I feel like they finally kind of with this show they've broken past that like
they got over that hump.
barrier, like that a lot of groups that make it to finals or the top 6 really, but it's like the top 6 where it's 4 or maybe 3 cores and then just everyone else.
Right.
Yeah. I feel like they're actually, they have truly, contentious horn line this year. They sound very good. And I think another reason, too, was that it was so early, so the horn ride didn't really get a chance to clean up and really sound like they were capable of in that preview show. That because of that, I didn't realize how good they sounded. But they sound significantly better, and I'm impressed with what they've come along with.
Do they still have Gino over there?
Yes, I think.
Okay.
I'm pretty sure they do.
Okay.
Which interests me because I really don't like how this horn book is arranged.
Yeah.
I don't like it. I don't.
Yeah, that's another.
I'm trying to like.
That's a gripe we have. I don't.
find out like what it is about it. I just think it's weird.
No, like the show, it is. Anyways.
Yeah, but yeah, I don't know.
Yeah. Show design is a little iffy for me, but again, just nitpicking. The Screamer's killing it though. He's got some chops, bro.
I don't really, if I'm being honest, I need to watch that again. I don't really remember it.
Yeah, I mean, like we said, I think they're very talented. They're like extraordinarily talented, and I don't. This design, I just don't like it.
Yeah.
I understand it. I don't not like it. I will be honest. When I first saw the show, I was like, they're really good.
Yeah, I remember you.
Yeah, I was like, I mean, I told you guys, I was like, oh, Boston's like pretty good this year. Like, I think they sound really good. But I kind of was dogging on it like conceptually and like from a design standpoint, and I still don't like really like it, but
yeah,
I don't feel as I don't have as strong negative feelings about it as I did when they were first coming out.
Same here.
I do think it stands out from Bluecoats and SCV because of how the battery is featured.
Yeah, I also think they're like I think it's creative. They're trying new things. I think.
Especially for them.
I even think they're like shows structured in an interesting way. They kind of have their ballad kind of early on. It's like their second movement almost. And I kind of like that. They're trying new things, they're being creative, but not going too far either.
No, respect it.
I have respect for Boston this year. I think they're good. I have them as like 4th or 3rd, honestly. I think they're really good. I think them just being clean will carry them.
Yeah, I think I have them at 4th over Bluecoats.
Yeah, I have them fighting with Bluecoats for that last medal spot. Okay. Anything else?
No.
Okay. On to Crown. I'll start. I think they're really, really good. Like they're really good.
Yeah.
Their horn line is playing the hardest thing of anyone this year, and I don't think it's really even close, except for maybe this next group we're gonna talk about. They're I guess a little background. I wasn't contracted to march at Crown, but after Spirit, what happened? You know, we all know what happened to Spirit. Uh,
Yeah.
you know, I was in talks with them to march there, right? And they basically I was told come to camps and like you will be marching there. So I got like pretty well acquainted with this music. I started doing like video assignments and stuff. Uh, it's hard. It's really hard. I had to practice so much to be able to double tongue, even close to how they're doing it now. Uh, their 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 closer particularly is like I think the best closer this year, like by far. Like it's not
Yeah.
even close.
I think theirs is also the best. You know, that makes me also think, in contrast, of course, you usually have the best closers. Who who would you say in the past consistently has had always usually one of the best closers?
Uh,
Blue Devils. Like,
Blue Devils, yeah.
yeah, they typically have like
19
well,
was really good.
19 was very good. I
17
would say
obviously was like
18 was a little lackluster.
it was still really good.
I liked it.
Not even lackluster. On a lower par than
I think
they typically are.
coming off of
I-
Metamorph.
Off of what was prior to it.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, how are you gonna top like
Yeah.
Metamorph?
Yeah.
But I did like 2018 because of the callback to 2009.
Yeah, and that's one of my favorites by them for sure. Such a good show.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, it fit the show.
The close
Yeah.
with the cores with like I feel like closers are like maybe the most important movement besides maybe an opener
I mean,
because you know
yeah,
obviously first impression and then what the audience was left with, that's like your bookends are like extraordinarily important.
Yeah, and I think also too what separates the groups that are able to make it higher in the rankings are the ones who are able to have the good opening and book end, but then still do a lot with the middle. Not
Yeah.
you know it's a lot harder than it seems to really write an interesting middle
Yeah, and I think Crown is like one of the few groups that has that full package
this year.
throughout their
Yeah.
whole show.
And speaking of which, let's just talk about the opener. I really like it.
I
really
thought
I think
I thought I wasn't gonna like it.
yeah, because of the song choice or
First, a few reasons. Cause yeah, they're playing Chandelier. I thought that was a little weird. I was like,
yeah, I didn't expect it to blend well with the drum corps style, but the way they arranged it musically in terms of
Mhm.
chord structure and just some other things made it work in my opinion. Specifically just the opening chord of it, I think is they made something that wouldn't seem very strong without hearing it at all
those Melphones.
become very strong. Yeah, they did a
Melphones
great
are
job
rocking
with it.
and then the whole other core, the rest of the core supporting that is like, I think the best way you could have like gone about that. And those Melphones
Yeah.
are rocking it.
Yeah,
And then their drums are like good. I
Yeah.
mean, I don't know. I'd say, I don't know if they're a top 3 drumline. They're definitely top 5.
yeah,
Maybe have them like at the 4th best drumline right now, maybe 3rd. I think their music's harder than, it's harder than Bluecoats. I think it's harder than Blue Devils.
yeah,
And I think it's harder than most of Vanguard.
yeah.
Vanguard has
They had a nice little
few
brass
parts.
feature though when we were watching them the other night. That was pretty. It was pretty technical. It's not bad.
But I
Yeah.
don't. Yeah, I think Crown. I also let's talk about the the app and like the whole crowd interaction thing.
Yeah, that's that. I feel like that's the big highlight of the show.
Yeah,
Is
I actually
it's the
really
most
like
innovative
it.
this year.
Yeah, I know we're pretty big on like more like traditional stuff. But
Yeah, I
like
mean, like you ask me, I would have everyone marching traditional style uniforms, but you know,
Yeah.
I have mixed feelings about the app, but I will give them credit because
yeah,
it does take some thinking out
As-
of the box.
as do I.
and
Like, it's not that I dislike it. It's just that like
almost like the fourth wall.
Yeah,
They
well,
kind of they
exactly.
like
my
Breaking
idea
the fourth wall.
is the show is like literally completely enjoyable to essentially its full extent without the app. So like you could just not use it.
Yeah,
I'm
And
not even
definitely.
sure
I
what the
think
app does completely.
it like
It's kind of just to get the crowd involved.
yeah, it'll like tell you when to clap, or like there's this part in the before the ballad, the transition to ballad, where it tells the whole audience to snap. You'll hear it if you go back and watch the
Yeah,
show.
yeah, I know, yeah, I know what you're talking
And then
about.
it also like flashes your flashlight.
Yeah, I've coming from someone who's in the college marching band scene. Uh, I go to University of Alabama, and we at every single bowl game, it's the Coca-Cola like halftime experience app or something like that. But it's not even a halftime experience. It's like it's basically before the game starts, but there's a QR code on like the jumbotron, and everyone scans it, and they'll basically make everyone's phone flash and sync and do like a bunch of effects and stuff, and it's cool.
Yeah, and I like that. Like when we go to the Atlanta Regional, we're I don't think I'm I don't know. I don't know if I'm gonna use it. But I think
Yeah, I think I may just sit and enjoy it if I'm being
even if
honest.
I don't, it'll be cool to have like everyone around you, their flashlights like
I think
Yeah.
I'll try it just to
yeah, I mean,
experience it.
I have the app on my phone. Like I have it downloaded because it was supposed to work with the streams, but
Ah,
I haven't gotten it to work yet. So I don't know.
yeah, it's cool that they have like
Yeah, I think
people
it's
on their team that can literally make an app like that. I think that's pretty
Yeah.
cool.
yeah, it's like really cool. I really like it. Uh, at least from a standpoint, like I give them props for it at the very least.
Yeah, definitely. That's definitely one of the things that's like wow factor. Like
Yeah,
not even talking about the show really.
yeah, that's how
Yeah.
you
It's like
win GE. That's how
Yeah.
you do it, and I
You
think they
got
are
that.
going to.
definitely stands out from all the other
You,
cores.
you think they are going to?
Yeah, I think they
Yeah,
have
I
the
think so
best
too.
GE, and I think they have the best brass. That's two captions for them already, and I
Yeah,
think they're top
that's another
three
thing
in
too.
every other caption.
As,
So that's like how you win.
as someone who follows and tries to emulate the classical playing style, I'm so admirable for Crown for keeping their musicians so relaxed and playing at such a quality
Mhm.
level. Because there's always groups even in the top six where they will have people playing hella tense and with a lot of pressure and sometimes maybe not even the best sound.
Yeah.
And Crown, I feel like if anyone does it right and keeps their musicians not only in quality condition for the season, but just to go on after the season, the ones who that play in college band, high school, etc., to actually be in a good physical state to not mess with their overall playing and not damage them. In a
Yeah.
sense, they do an incredible job with that, and I have a lot of respect for
Mhm.
that.
Another thing I'll say, just feel like adding this. When I merch Spirit, I'd say they're also very adamant about that. Like of you actually coming out of the other side as a better musician.
Mm-hmm.
Like like I got better at trumpet in
You
those
did, you
like
did.
2 months that I spent with them. Uh, I got I'd say a good bit better. I just know how to
I
use
knew
my
like a
ear better.
3% increase.
Yeah, it was definitely
No, noticeably better. When I can definitely say that there's some specific factors about your playing that I can say are a night and day difference.
yeah. So yeah, I mean, if you guys are looking for somewhere to march next year, Spirit, you're gonna need the
The
help.
plug.
I mean, I just think Crown has the system down. They have their system down,
Yeah, they
and
do. They
they
do.
they just know
They
what they're doing all the time.
figured it out in 2013 when they won. That's when they fully found their style and what they want their musicians to be like
Before
in
that,
terms. But I feel like that's the year where they really
Like really
solidified
lock
it.
that in. Like
It
this is what
wasn't
we are.
before, like even in 2012 per se, which is by far my favorite Crown show. I think in terms of content, writing, drill, everything. But um, I feel like they didn't fully set into their level of cleanliness that they have
Yeah, I feel
that they
like
found in 2013, and that
2012 they like they like overshot, and then they like brought it back in 2013 and
Yeah.
like settled.
2020 was very hard. It was very hard. And
Yeah.
not to mention, in terms of it being very hard, they did it again. But they brought back but they still they found their style again. And that's another thing. I feel like if there's any core that has a style and sound that is consistent every single year, it's them. Their horn line is able to produce the most consistent sound every year.
And their
Every
drums,
year.
yeah, their drums have done nothing but get better every year since like
Yeah.
2016.
Yeah.
They're good.
Yeah,
they might
they're
win.
very good.
They might win. They'll get
They
at
might.
least second.
We'll see.
Yeah.
They're top 3 for sure. Top 2, honestly.
I think it's between them and our next group, the Blue Devils. So we're biased.
We like them a lot, but we always have.
Yeah. But I think the show is really good. It's really, really good. I think it's great.
Think too, just Blue Devils have figured out how to write good shows, but also winning shows.
Yeah, and I think this year, this year's different. It still has that Blue Devils, like, I guess you could say, formula.
Yeah.
But I feel like there's just something different about it. I feel like they've like taken some steps in some new directions. And I think it's fresh enough. But still has that sort of, like I said, formula. That they really know how to make a good show, and they did it again this year.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Actually, Jared, you go first.
I have a contrasting take with you guys. I actually enjoyed the Blue's closer more. I think they have the best.
Yeah, I think it's the second best.
Well,
Besides
I
Crown.
I think at any point in the season they could probably even it out and be, whatever happens.
I think I don't know. I feel more.
I think it's more emotionally resonant.
Yeah, I get more goosebumps and stuff,
Yeah,
and to me, that's the most important thing.
I think
for,
Crown's closer is like super high energy and it gets you hyped, but like
There's one thing you and I know one thing that we would like to change about the very end of their closer. You and me, Clark.
Of whose closer?
Crowns.
Oh.
Something that they've done the last few years. And it's not.
Wait, what?
When after they put their horns down.
Oh.
Yeah, I want that to stop.
Yeah,
just let the crowd's reaction show your emotion. You don't. It feels forced.
Yeah, I hate when cores, like when they finish the show or the movement and they go, "Bleh," and or they start screaming like, and they go, "Woo, woo, yeah." I just like let the moment like be just affect the audience by itself.
Yeah, let what just happened speak for itself rather than so the crowd kind of scream out.
It's cringe.
It's cheesy and a little cringy.
Yeah.
But
it was forced. And,
yeah, I think it's but yeah.
That still can work in certain situations. So
yeah.
I think it works. I think when Cavaliers do it, it works.
Yeah, but it's also, I feel like that's kind of a part of their identity.
Yeah. I feel like, I don't know. Like, let's take the Bluecoats. Blue! I used to think that was really cool, and I go back and watch, like, I don't know.
It still is, to me.
I think in 18 it was cool.
Yeah.
It was in a good spot, but I think a lot of times now it's just cringe.
Yeah, it just doesn't have the same feeling to me.
And I think that has to do with its context. Like, I feel like they're playing, like, goofy music. And then, like, that's how I describe Bluecoats now. It's goofy.
Yeah.
It's just goofy. And that's really what I don't like about them nowadays.
Yeah, I find it, especially the show, I can't take it as
seriously at
as
all.
the other shows. But back to Blue Devils.
Blue Devils. Their closer, right? I think it's like I guess I'd say it's better at like wrapping up the show and like coming full circle. It's very emotionally resonant. It's gorgeous.
Mhm.
Like just the writing is just like just gorgeous. I
Yeah.
love that mellophone solo on top of that with the trumpet.
There's one gripe I have with it, and it's something that they have kept doing every year since 2016. Right when they go into their closing section after their ballad, every single year, since 2017, they have done this little like mix of like light drumline. In 2017, it was a drumline feature, but they also do the same thing where they have the pit. I think it's I don't know. It's a hand drum, and it's like the same. It's the same freaking rhythm every year. It's a hand drum and then a bass drum with a mallet. And it's like they do it like every year, and it's really bothering me now.
Yeah, like can you like do
I want
something
them to stop
different?
doing that because
Yeah.
I know, especially watching them in the past, they don't need that.
That's
They,
my
they don't need that.
that's my one gripe with things
Same.
being samey in their show as previous years. That's my only one.
Actually, I have one more gripe, but we'll talk about that in a second.
Okay. Yeah, closer, gorgeous. I think their horn line is playing really hard music.
Yeah, they're that little trumpet feature they have is very difficult.
Yeah,
It's
that
very
high brass
fast,
thing.
light. You have to be very light with the tongue to do that stuff.
You have the high brass feature in Carnival of Venice, and you have the ballads obviously challenging for reasons of which ballads are usually challenging. I think it's
Yeah.
like really hard in those aspects. And then you have like the stuff in Tank is like really hard.
It's stylistically challenging. It's
Yeah.
jazz.
Well, yeah, first of all, you have those stylistical challenges from jazz, and then like they get like this crazy multiple tonguing.
Yes.
It's like it's pretty hard.
Yep.
What's-
Yeah, I think they're doing a pretty good job with it.
Yeah.
They haven't really been like, correct me if I'm wrong, but I feel like this is the year that they've done like the most like multiple tonguing like that.
Yeah, I mean, think back to 2019. They had like the opener, the trumpet feature and stuff. That
Yeah.
had the
but
multiple
that's
tonguing.
it was not like this. That was
Yeah.
more like
It wasn't as hard.
it
first of all.
certainly was not as hard. It was in fact that was I'd say on part of the easiest spectrum of multiple tonguing. Dun 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 dun. In fact, you could
Yeah.
if you were good enough single tonguing, you could probably single tongue it. But
Yeah, I would say
It's
the
another-
show, at least in terms of the horn line, is leaps and bounds harder.
except
I'd
for
say it's
that
harder.
youth section in 2019 was pretty nutty.
Yeah.
Don't want
Yeah.
to forget about that.
But
That
I feel
was
like this show's
that was
harder
cool.
all the way through.
yeah overall.
Yeah.
Uh,
It might
yeah.
even be harder than Crown, I think.
No, well, I don't know. I need to watch him again so I can get a clear answer on that.
It's close.
I need him fresh in my mind so I can give a definitive answer.
Yeah. Maybe we'll do some like reaction videos. I think that'd be
That'd be
good.
cool.
Yeah.
Guys,
Copy. Fun
Pretty
liner.
crazy that they're out like this good and they haven't performed in 3 years.
Yeah,
That's
That's
like,
crazy.
that speaks volumes about the Blue Devils.
yeah.
Because all these other cores like Bluecoats, Crown, all of
Well,
them,
I-
they performed last year, and it's
Yeah,
crazy that
yeah.
Blue Devils didn't, and they're still like the top contender like that. I think that's crazy.
Yeah.
I don't think there's a single way they finished below second.
I think they're gonna be top two, regardless.
Well, I just don't see it. I don't know. No
Yeah.
one's. No one besides
And that's what they're
Crown
good at. They
is better
always
than them.
either they win every other year, or they get second place. That's how it's been since since like 2008.
And I think they deserve it every year.
Yeah,
Every
like they
year.
earn it. It's not like we're biased and the judges are biased. They're just that good, and
They're-
it's kind of just become like a fact. It's their quality. It's what they do.
Yeah, I like the direction they're going in.
Yeah, I think it's completely ridiculous that people are picking like Boston to beat them.
Yeah,
Like they're like I've seen people on Reddit say like Blue Devils are getting 4th or 5th.
those are people who and I feel like it's very clear that there is just some hate to them because they win so much.
Yeah. They're just
And
good.
that's how anything is where
And
you win a lot.
people complain that they're formulaic when literally every other core is.
Everyone
Yeah.
is.
Even
Well,
more
that's just
so.
Everyone
like
is.
that's just called stylistic
That's
like
just
book writing. You know,
Yeah.
that's what happens when you have like the same writers. You know.
Not to mention just the current era of the activity. Every era has a formula.
But yeah,
Every
you're gonna tell me that Bluecoats don't have a
activity-
formula?
They
Like-
sure do.
Like everyone does. Everyone
Take like
does.
the 2000s, 2010s cadets with Bo Cook. All those shows sound the same.
Yeah.
They all sound the same, and they're all awesome. And they're awesome. It's all
Yeah.
good, and no one has a problem with it then. But
Yeah.
they just hate when Blue Devils do it because they win.
Yeah. Because they figured it out, you know?
Yeah, they figured it out.
They figured out what works for them.
Yeah,
They,
and
they figured out what works for them, and probably also in a way.
Because I wouldn't
win.
enjoy if every single core started copying the same exact formula.
Neither would I. That would make me want to.
So I think you got to figure out what's right for the core.
Yeah, like another thing going back to Crown. Crown has a sound that they are consistent with every year, and they write it into their show every year.
Yeah.
That specific Crown sound, it's very
there's like tons
pretty
of
refined, and it's very much when you hear them play, you know it's them.
Yeah, I mean, there's tons of points in their show where I'm like, that just sounds like a Crown book. Like you could
Exactly.
put that in any other Crown show, and like.
In fact, I
Wouldn't
think
matter.
they probably have. I'd say, well, I guess I don't even really including their drumline. I think they're the most stylistic.
Yeah.
They have their own style that they
Mhm.
do a good job of sticking to while still making it creative.
Yeah, their drumline
And
has like a
interesting.
lot of like they've like recently since they got this new staff since like 16. They've
Yeah.
had like I don't know how to describe it. I don't want to say floaty, but they do a lot of floats in their show. Like the music doesn't sound floaty. It sounds like pretty East Coast. But you know, they have this like I don't even know how to describe it, but it's like you said, it's very stylistic.
Yeah.
And their horn line's the same way too. And I think I quite like it. It's not a problem that they're samey. I don't think because like
No.
when
no,
I watch Crown, I want to watch a Crown show.
exactly.
Yeah.
You know.
And when I want to watch Bluecoats, I want to watch a Bluecoats
Like,
show.
would you like it if your
However-
favorite artist, like singer, like changed genres every song they did? Like, does it make
Speaking
sense?
of which, like, that makes me think to like, I don't know why why they came to mind first, but very specifically because I remember they got a lot of hate from their diehard fans in early 2000s when Green Day started to try different things.
Uh-huh.
When Green Day kind of drifted away from like their punk sound that they had become so notorious with, and what really made them famous and drawn in so many people didn't like that.
Oh yeah.
And that's how it's going to be, I'd say, with anything when they've made themselves known for a style and they're good at that style and everyone likes that style when they do it.
Yeah.
That's kind of just how things work with that.
I agree. Anyone have anything else? We're nearing an hour.
Really?
Yeah.
What? That felt 10 minutes.
Still have one more group to talk about.
Yeah, I think I call what I was winning.
I think so too.
I think
I guess we'll just
they're
see.
gonna keep on getting better and better as the season progresses. I mean, every core will, but
No one does it as exponentially as them.
Yeah.
yeah,
I personally, I'm not really sure. I don't really know. I think it's too early to tell for me.
It's
but
between them
we'll
and
see.
Crown, but they're not getting below second.
No.
It's not.
Something ridiculous would have to happen for that to happen, or someone, one of the other cores who we think would not be in the top two would have to really do something different and good.
Yeah. Anyways, let's move on to cadets.
Yes.
Yeah.
This show is it's really, really, really I just love it.
yeah.
It's,
I have a lot of appreciation for them for keeping true to the early 2000s style of specifically visually drill wise. It's hardcore.
Mm-hmm.
And another thing is, get background. We have heard the show since
2019,
is it
20, maybe
20?
very early 2020.
Yeah, like January 2020. I remember. Because I remember seeing a video of them playing their opener, and as soon as I saw it, I was like, they're back. That's their back.
Yeah,
it's
and he showed it to us, and we,
We
I
thought
mean,
the
at
same
least,
thing.
yeah, we thought the same thing. I mean,
It's the cadets that everyone knew
yeah, fell
in
in
the
love with it
past, and they're here.
right away.
Yeah.
It's I don't I just I think they have the hardest visual demand, and they don't have the hardest brass book, definitely not. But I
No.
think combined with the visual demand, because they play and move, I think more than anyone else, except maybe Crown.
Yeah, I was about to say maybe Crown. Crown also
Uh,
definitely puts the
Crown,
pedal to the
yeah,
metal with that stuff
especially
too.
that closer, they're hauling.
Yeah.
But yeah, cadets are moving and playing, and I hope the judges start rewarding them for that. I think Boston objectively should be beating them because that's like who mainly they've been at shows with so far. I
And
think,
yeah, from an
yeah,
objective, they're
like
just cleaner right
just
now.
Boston's just better. Um, but I just think I legitimately think Cadet Show is harder.
Yeah.
Uh, it's and it's like traditional, but enough modern stuff in there. I think it's like if I were to make a drum corps show, in my perfect vision, or not my perfect vision, but perfect to me, uh, it would be pretty close to this. Uh, I love. I mean, Bo Cook did a fantastic job with arranging this, especially the opener.
Mhm.
Yeah. I
Opener's
think
so good.
the show's just a really, really good package. Everything, everything. The combination of music and even the props, uniforms, just everything, just a nice package.
Mm-hmm.
It's very satisfying to watch.
Yeah, I agree.
And they're clearly more talented than they have been in quite a few many years. I don't think
And that's
they're.
another thing too. I think even in like 2019, talent wasn't. I will say, although they may not be as talented as, or now they're more talented as they were then. Um, Talent wasn't the main issue then. I'd say
Yeah, I mean
they've had skilled horn lines. It's just this year is definitely
Mm-hmm.
a step above.
I think mainly it just has to do with the way they wrote the book.
Yeah, and
Yeah, well, Bo Cook came back, kind of fixed
Yeah.
that problem real quick.
speaking of people coming back, Phantom Regiment, dude, too.
Yeah, we could talk about them real quick.
Yeah, give them a little quick snippet.
We are big Phantom haters.
Yeah.
I'm
This time on
I'm
Spirit.
not.
Oh yeah,
I'm not.
Jared and I are, you know, so we're big
We have
Phantom
some-
haters.
Yeah.
Phantom deniers.
We we like this show.
Yeah.
I think it's good. It sounds like classic Phantom in the best way possible.
Well, with JD Shaw being back, that helps a lot. Uh, I really like it, and I think they're getting like Blue Stars beat them quite handedly the other night. I think Blue Stars were better. I think we're not talking about Blue Stars, but let's say real quick, I think they're pretty good. Uh,
I haven't
but-
seen them yet.
but they're just getting dogged by the judges. Their
Yeah, they
drum
really
line is
are.
getting dogged, and I know they've had COVID problems, and their score's actually gone down by like over a point.
Yeah.
And that's I'm gonna chalk that up to the COVID stuff, which just sucks.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Uh,
my friend in the Corps. I mean, basically they had. She said they had basically no drum line.
yeah,
So that sucks.
yeah, that's just unfortunate. But that's the world we live in right now. But yeah, they at the very least took a step in the right direction.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Anyways, we just passed an hour. Uh, anyone have anything else they want to add?
Yeah, I was very surprised when I heard their horn line. They have a nice seniority to the sound this
Mm-hmm.
year.
Oh, Phantom?
Yeah,
Fan.
fan.
Yes, they do. They do. They've done a great job.
So does cadets.
So does Cadets.
When cadets just play like a chord, like I could just easily mistake them for crown. Honestly, like they sound good.
I
I
need, I
feel
need
like they're
to.
not as clean as
Yeah.
crown, but like when
Crown's just so refined.
yeah
They
when
always will
when they're
be.
just
At
playing
least
like a
as
standstill
it seems
chord,
right now.
they sound really really good.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think I've said all I want to say.
Mm-hmm.
Anyone else?
Nope.
All right, then I guess we'll wrap it up. Thanks everyone for listening. Probably not that many people, but this was just
All
kind
one
of
or two of you.
yeah,
Thank you.
this is just kind of like fun for us to do. I mean, I had a good time.
I did too.
Yeah, I think
I
it's like
didn't.
I mean, we already sorry.
Yeah, honestly, this sucked.
Yeah.
We should never do this again.
I mean, we were just sitting around. We're like, we already talk about this, like just sitting in Discord already. Might as well be fun to record it and put it out there.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's what we did. Thanks everyone for like just tuning in. Very few of you. Hope you enjoyed listening. So yeah, I think we're gonna wrap things up. We'll see you guys next time.
You-
Goodbye.
Yup.